So your game needs audio, and there's a couple of ways to go about this. And I'm just going to quickly sort of briefly fly through those different methods. The first thing that you will need to do is capture audio. Now, there's a couple of ways you can capture audio, but the way that I would recommend is on your phone. Just record it on your phone. Your phone's got a microphone in it. It doesn't need to be this amazing, super crisp, clean sound for your tiny little indie game. It can just be something quickly and easily done. But what I would recommend firstly is that you actually get, if you go to, say if you're on Google, that you go to the Google Play Store and get a new audio recorder, because by default the audio recorder on your phone sometimes encodes in a weird format, especially if you're an iPhone, sometimes an Android. You never know for sure, but the easiest way to do it is to get an MP3 recorder. And one of these will probably do it for you. I mean, this first one is free. It's got basically 5-star rating. That's going to do a good job. In fact, I think that's the one I've even got on my phone. So grab yourself an MP3 recorder. It's just going to make it a lot easier when you record your audio to send it across. And you're not going to end up with a weird file format that you might have to take into, say, like Adobe After Effects or Premiere or something, just to convert it into audio. So grab yourself this MP3 recorder. Once you've got that, you want to get yourself Audacity. Now, Audacity is a free editing, audio editing editor. It's a free audio editing editor. There you go. Just go to this, follow the downloads for Windows. We don't need the zip files. Let's just get the installer. We can click this, download the Audacity installer. I've already got it, so I'm not going to download it. Because I've already got it installed on my computer, so I don't need it. And then you can just simply drag and drop your sounds. You can drag and drop your sounds. And then you can start using this as an editor. Now, this is just 2 beeps. You know, sometimes I was messing up with trying to create like a menu button, like maybe what might be like, you know, an accept every time you press on the button. So what I would recommend is you pretty much cut it down. You want the sound to start almost immediately. So I'm just highlighting the parts I don't want. I'm going to press delete. So you can see how it pretty much starts immediately. You want that immediate feedback. You don't want to have a delay in the sound effect. And make sure it starts at the beginning. Now once you've got your sound effect, you can start mastering it. I'm just going to hold shift and press play. This is going to get annoying quickly. But you can see up there how it's peaking about -12. Your audio should never go above -6. But for a button press like this, you're probably happy to go about 8. So we could increase it by increasing the gain here. That's probably a bit too much, so let's just go to 4. There we go, that'll do. And once you've got that sound, you can start tweaking it. Basically, the main buttons you'll want to mess with in here are the effects. And there's so much, and it's just, honestly, just spend some time just pressing each one of them, seeing what they all do, and just get a feel for it. And all of them have got like a preview in there. So like maybe I want that one, but now it's a bit too slow, so I'm going to increase the speed. You know, that's actually pretty awesome. You can mess with this however you want to mess with this until you create a sound that you think sounds cool and unique. Now, your sounds want to be original. You don't want to sort of steal someone else's sounds, take someone else's sounds from the games. You can get lots of different sounds and start mixing them together, taking little bits and samples. We call that sampling, where you take little bits of different audio and blend them all together. And usually when you're making these, you won't just have this one track like this. You might have, if you're making sort of like a bone crunching sound, you might have like the sound of like lettuce breaking. You might have the sound of like wood dropping onto the floor, and you might have the sound of like something quite liquidy, like smashing a tomato. And you'd mix all of those together to, you know, create your death sound or whatever you'd want to do. And once you've done so and you're happy with it, let's just quickly go across the audio section in Unreal, and this is going to tell us what kind of audio it prefers. So we can see it wants a WAV with a bitrate of 16 and a sample rate of 44,100 are recommended. So to ensure we've got this, if we click up here, we can see it's, as it's 44, it's 32, sorry, and it wanted a bitrate of 62. So we could click this little drop down. See, it's set to 44, which is great, and let's set to 16. That's such a good sound. And then once we're happy with that, we can hit export audio and choose where you want to save it, and just use this little drop down here to choose what you want to save it as, and hit save, and that'll export the audio. There's something called meta tags as well, which you can just hit clear, and that you don't need any meta tags for this, and that's going to export your audio. You might not be able to record all audio yourself, so another thing that I would recommend is if you Google online DAW and then scroll down until you find one called Audio Sauna. This is the one I tend to use, and it's pretty good. I mean, you could probably just put Audio Sauna in here and it'll come up. And what Audio Sauna is just, it's somewhere where you can create sounds online, all straight from your browser. So if you want something that's more of an artificial sound and less real, or even if you're quite good, let's say actually you've done any audio making in the past, you can actually start making your game soundtrack on here if you wanted. And I'm just going to draw some in. Let's see what that sounds like. Funky, right? And you can just mess with that, and once you're happy with that, we can just hit export as an audio file. And then this is already going to create you a WAV, which will be able to save to your computer. I don't need that, I'm not going to save that. And that's how you create your WAVs. Now, inside Unreal, if you get to this part, just create yourself a new content folder called Audio. And you can break this up into sound effects and game music if you want to. In fact, let's just download that real quick. Export song as an audio file entitled WAV. Just put it in my downloads for now. Yeah, I'm just going to delete this in a minute. So inside my audio, I'm going to click the import button and go to my quick access. Now this is my audio track. It's got a lot of tail on it because we can see up here. Can we shut this from up here? We can. We'd have to sort of cut it out there. Oh my god, that is actually so enjoyable. I'm going to resave that and import it and overwrite it. Okay, that's resaved, and we're just going to re-import. So I'm going to right click, re-import. It didn't seem to re-import. Let's just delete it and re-import it. It's still got a lot of tail on it. Oh, it's fine. It's not important. I don't want to mess with that too much. And that's pretty much how you import the audio. I would recommend that when you go in there, if you double click where the name of it is, in here we've got a couple of different options. Because this is going to be game music, I'm going to click looping. So it's just going to play continuously in the background. From here as well, if I decide it's a bit too loud, I could bring this down to about 0.6. You can mess with the pitch, and you can do lots of other stuff in here, but for now, that'll do. If it's a game sound, you obviously don't need it to loop, but you can still mess with the audio. Now inside my game, I'm just going to open my level blueprint. And from my event begin play, if you've not got anything here, that's fine. You can just do it from there. But I've got stuff, so I'm just going to do it from here. Play sound. It's going to be 2D because it's background audio, and it's called Untitled. Click compile, click save. Let's see if this works. Cool. There you go. That's how to create audio and import it into Unreal. Thanks for your time.